going to look like when we are setting up a home search for one of our clients. So a lot of the times um, when we get sent like a number of listings, like this is after you've already set them up on the search and everything. So once you have all this kind of set up from here, it's looking like, this guy, for example, he sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 homes he wants to see off the list that I sent him. So it can get like rather confusing and kind of tricky if you ask me. I don't know, maybe I'm bad at this stuff, but I'm just trying to go about this the best way possible. So here's kind of what I do, and I already got started. So I go into our MLS, and then I go into what's called a multiple address search. So if you go into your menu and then press multiple address search, that's how you'll get here. And really it's just like a lot of copy and paste. But that's what I mean, like sometimes it can get really messy. So like kind of as I'm going through here, um, and you don't need to have like the street name and everything in here or like the street direction. And I don't know if this is the best way. This is just the way I've always done it. So, and I know a few of these on here that he sent are coming soon, which aren't going to show up on this list. Um, so once I get all this put in here, we'll let you know. So I'm just going to keep copy and pasting here. See how like he wrote coming soon, coming soon. So we can check this one too, because it didn't say if this one was coming soon or not. And then down here, the store, you'll select residential. Um, and you don't want to leave this as all, because this is going to show you all time for all these properties. This is, you're going to want to do active. You can do UCB, CCB as coming soon. Well, I guess now coming soon isn't here. So I'm going to add his coming soons in here too then. And the reason you want like this to look as correct as possible on here is because once you do this, it like it's pretty tough to go back in and edit this without having to literally redo everything we just did. So I find this part of the test to be really frustrating if it doesn't populate appropriately. So another trick I do is I like to count these, because when it pulls up on the next page, it's going to give me listings, and I'm not going to have all these memorized. So I see there's 3, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 total homes I want to see. And then see on here, we got lucky this time. So there's 8, which is great. So now what I'll do, because this guy wants to see all 8 of these homes this weekend, I'll click this little box up here. I guess we'll select all the listings, and then I'll go to the map view, and then I'm going to change this over to the selected listings. A few different ways you can go about this. Like if you go through, book through all of these on showing time, then it'll like map out the route. But I like to just map it out myself. Like this looks like a disaster. So I want to pick my own route and like make sure I still have some time left in my day to do something else. So like this guy, for example, I know he's staying in a house down here. So I'm gonna start, and I live towards Phoenix, right? So I'm going to start in Estrella Mountain Ranch down here. The reason we have all these selected is because now you can drag these into the order that you want. So, and I didn't mean to click that. So I'm going to go 1 there, and then this one's the next farthest. So I'm going to book this one and drag this to number 2, Devon Drive. And then I'm going to hit these two because these are both right next to each other. So this will be number 3. And then 157th will be number 4. And these ones are coming soon, so I may not be able to get into this, but we'll get into that next. And then I'm going to go see in my eyes, I'm thinking okay, I'm just going to go straight up the street. So 159th, that'll be my next one. And then, because I know I have to come back down here anyway, I'm going to hit this one next. All right, so and then Wilshire and Locust will be my last one. So, and then I'll just double check that because sometimes I mess those up. So I'll just go number 1 is that one. Number 2 should be this way. This should be 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 8. So let's search list of 8 homes. So then now this is your order. You want to see them. So now what I'll do is I'll go in here and look at the detail on these. This is just prior to I make these phone calls, right? So obviously this one's coming soon. Sometimes there's some information down here as far as when the first showings are going to be. And this information may or may not be accurate, but it says on market date December 30th. So this one's coming soon. There's typically probably not going to be any showings on this one until a little bit later, but I'm definitely going to still call this one and ask, right? And then just for the sake of this, right? So what I'm going to do here is number 2 down here, it's going to say permission required to show. Yes, use showing time. So showing time, you guys are going to be right here. You're going to click this little purple square, and then in the event you're going to be doing multiple showings. So you're going to want to make your life easier. You're going to want to do what's called a showing cart. And then I'm going to take this guy out on Saturday. I'm going to add a new one because I don't have his name in here yet. And then I'm just going to double check I have his contact in here. Yep. And then I'm going to put his phone number, his email, all in here, but I'm going to do that later. So now I've got him in here. And the reason you want to put the phone number in the email is it's going to send all this stuff to him. So he's going to know exactly what route he's taking. He's going to know what order we're meeting at the properties, if there's any changes. So it's actually a pretty cool tool. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK here. So now Devon Drive is in here. And then this is in a build status, you can see up here. So I'm just going to go back to here for right now. And the reason I left Rock Run out, I'm just going to call this guy to see if we can see that one. But then basically, since you're building this tour on showing time, I like to go through and book them all on showing time, but some of them will have it turned off. Like this, for example, this is an open door listing, which you guys will run into this stuff a lot, like Zillow houses, open door houses, all sorts of weird stuff. So these ones, these will have just a keypad on the door, so you have to call the number when you get there, and it's going to give you the keypad, or download the Open Door app to schedule your time. So that's it's not that big of a deal. I've got the app. So just make sure you have all this stuff figured out prior to you going out to these showings, so you don't look like an idiot at the door, not knowing what you're doing. So, and then here, for example, Another coming soon. So it says owner occupied. Yes, contact via showing time, right? So, and it says this is going on market December 10th. So, again, on this one, I'm going to call and see. But then, moving down the line, um, yeah. And then, like, just keep in mind, too, like, when you're going through this, like, this guy, he may not know that this is a age restricted community. So, this is where it's going to tell you if it's age restricted, because I've had listings before where they'll go show a house and they won't even realize what they're showing it to their buyers that are 35 years old. They can't even live in there. So it's a quick way for you to lose some clients or just to look stupid, showing a 55 community to some people that can't live there. So, for me, I know this guy is 55 plus, but I'm going to make sure he's aware that this community is 55 plus and, he may or may not want to purchase it because of that. So, anyway, so kind of keep moving through these. And those ones I'll check back, like this one. See, for example, it says occupant's a tenant. So it may need, see, and then here it describes it's got 2 hour, you need a 2 hour notice to show it. Um, and then the showing time, it's saying in here, contact via showing time, right? So this one we're definitely going to throw in there. And this is too why I liked adding a showing cart, because now when I go back to my order, after I call these other ones, I'm going to see if it's even possible that like my route and schedule is going to make sense. But I know I can, and now I can go in here and I can change these times instead of like going and booking them one by one. Then you're going to have to go back and change those times because now we know there's a tenant. Some of them are coming soon. Some of them might need a notice, and your route may not always work out perfectly. But this is really important too because this will estimate your drive time, right? So like between these two houses, this is a 26-minute drive. And then to just kind of moving right along, owner occupant, right? Permission required to show, yes. Um, and see here, like I'm always just looking at this. Most of the time, this is just going to say NA right here, but this one's saying FERPTA may apply. So just some other disclosures that may need to be made to your client. It's just an investment property tax for sellers that are selling that they don't live in America. So just make sure like those proper disclosures are being made. Title's actually going to do majority of that for you. But just to make sure, you want to make sure that this type of stuff's disclosed. And if you don't know about it, make sure you're reaching out to the broker and getting anything that you need to disclose over to the clients. Right. So this one, the same type of thing. You're just going to go in here because they're requesting a showing. You're going to add it to your cart. And then you can just go right back. And these tabs did stay open, so you can just close those out. And then here's the last one, right? So owner occupant, it says permission required to show, yes. So we are gonna see how this one says needs 5-hour showing notice. Showings will all be on December 5th, 2 to 6, right? So I'm not, I can call this guy. This is another one. I'm gonna call him, see if we could sneak in there tomorrow. But if not, then we're driving out there on Sunday to see this house. And that's just how it goes. But see, on this one, so special listing condition, none apply. So that's kind of what you want to see down there, and that's where it'll be like if it's a probate property or if it's in an estate status or anything like that, or a short sales, those are listed in here. So we want to make sure you're reading that. And that's why it's highlighted down here for you, because you want to make sure you're always peeking at that and whatnot. So yeah, that was just a quick little overview on how to prep to show houses to buyers.